Hello, and so for our second discussion board, we're going to summarize some data that we're going to find, and so we'll be describing distributions. You want to find data, you can look up sports statistics, you can also look up social media posts from in your feed, the For You page, or just from people you follow. You can look at music on Apple Music or Spotify. You can take a sample of movies that have been released in 2024 or 2025. You can look at food for sale online, or you could look at the past like 20 presidential elections. And I want you to look for two things. So, like, I want you to record something that's categorical and something that's quantitative. So, this idea of categorical, that when we use words to classify something about our observational units, that what are we collecting data on? Um, when we use words, that's categorical. When it's numerical or a measurement, that's quantitative. And so what I did is I jumped on to my Strava app, which connects to my Apple Watch and records all of my workouts. I am a marathon runner, but I was injured, so I've also been doing a lot of other types of endurance. And so I jumped onto Strava, and I just went to the beginning of the year, and I kind of flipped through my workout data just randomly, clicking my finger down and stopping at certain workouts. I would look at the type of workout that my finger landed on and how long that workout is. So at the beginning of the year, I did a run and it was 148 minutes. I was training for a marathon that's 26 miles. And then I got injured in the middle of January. And so you'll notice a lot more strength, and I'm riding and rowing. And so you'll see the different minutes over here. And then you see I was doing lots of rides and then some runs more recently as I've recovered from my injury. So I have this data now. Now, that is your first step, is to find your data and give me a link to it. If you make a spreadsheet, you can just share the link to it, or you can use right here. I have insert a table. If you look for the table icon, you can put a table right into your data. So you can insert table and share that data with the class. Okay. It doesn't have to be your workout data. Again, you can go into your fridge, find food, and record. Is the item vegetarian, not vegetarian, and look at how many grams of protein it has in it, or something like that. So there's lots of different things you can do. I just want you to collect your own data. It should be unique from everyone else in the class. And you only need 20 observations, so 20 different data points from your data. Okay. So once you have that, your next goal is to summarize it. And so if you look right here at statistics apps in Canvas, you have these free statistics apps that are built on R, which is a very powerful statistical software. And so you can open that up, and you can, it takes a second to load all the links. And we're going to be dealing with these first two apps. So I'm going to use this app, which is categorical. Okay. And if I click over here in the corner, it will let me decide how I want to enter the data. I want to do individual observations. Okay. I'm going to go back to my data, and I'm going to copy all of the categorical data. So since this was words, the type of workout I did used words to describe the workout of that day. I'm going to put that right in there. Now, depending on how you entered it, you might need to put a space in between it. Now I'm going to try something. So let's see if this will maybe make it a little bit nicer for me. I have this untitled spreadsheet. If I open like a Google Sheet, I'm wondering, yeah, I think that's going to make it easier for me to copy and paste the data. So maybe if you use a spreadsheet versus just copying it right from Canvas. The problem I encountered, is that when I copied and pasted it, there was no spaces in between. And so that made a graph over there that is not easy to use. I want a space, or I want them all on their own line. And so now I have this bar graph here, and I should change the title, workout type. This is a random sample of my workouts from 2025. Okay. I can click on show percents. I can also have it show me a pie chart, and that's a little bit more colorful. And so what I see is that about 45% of my workouts in my sample were rides. And I can see I have two types of strength, so there must be a typo. So this is called cleaning the data. If you have a typo right here, let's put that there. There we go. And then I have another typo somewhere. So clean your data up if there's any typos in it. Make sure it makes sense. I do sometimes see students post a graph, but now you can see that most of my training was rides, 45%, got 25% strength, and 25% runs. Okay. So there's your, I want you to save this graph, so you can click on this camera down here in the corner, and it will download the graph for you. Okay. And that will be it for your quantitative variable. Now I want you to go to your that was your categorical variable. Now I want you to go to your categorical variable, and I want you to summarize the quantitative variable. So I need to go back to the stat apps, the statistics apps, and click on quantitative, and enter your own, and go ahead and use that right there. And you'll see that you get a box plot, you get a bar graph. I'm sorry, this is a histogram, not a bar graph. And I can type out workout duration. And I like dot plots. Sometimes you have to make the dots a little bit smaller, but I like the dot plot, how that looks. So so now we can see this distribution here, and I want to save that. So I'm going to look for the camera. It's weird, no camera here, but we'll take the box plot, or we can take the histogram. And so now I have those downloaded, and I can go back to here, and I can insert my graphs. Upload image. And if I look at my downloads, I can upload my graph here. And this is a histogram showing workout duration. Okay. And if I save that, okay. Then I have that there. And your next step is going to be to use AI to summarize the distribution. So I can click here and click upload files, and I can click here and upload both of my quantitative variables, and I can say summarize the distribution. And see what the graph does for me. Now this is gives me a combined summary right here, and I want to make sure that it includes the shape, the center, the spread, and any unusual features. Okay. So it does mention that there's a positive skew, which is skewed to the right. So it does mention the shape. It mentions that most common workout durations will fall between 50 and 100 minutes. So it's saying where that the central tendency is. So it even tells me the median is around 85 to 90. but that there is also a secondary cluster between 0 and 50 and another cluster between 150 and 200. So it's kind of telling me how it's spread out, where it's distributed along the way. And then it mentions an unusual feature here, the noticeable gap or lower frequency of workouts lasting between 100 and 150 minutes. So it does mention gaps or outliers there. And so this would be a pretty good summary of the graph. And then you're going to do the same thing for your categorical variable. So I'm going to upload the file here and say summarize the distribution. Okay, so here it's summarizing the distribution of a categorical. And so here it talks about, like I did when I kind of summarized the graph, that bike riding is about 45%, strength is 25%, run and row each are 15%, making them the least frequent activities. And again, that was because I was injured. I had a leg injury, so running and even rowing had to be limited a little bit. Okay, so you're going to share those summaries. You do not need to share the whole analysis here, but you do want to kind of have, maybe if it gives you a combined summary, but you can share whatever you get from your from the AI that you're using to summarize it, and kind of share that with the class so that we can kind of see how it summarizes it and build on that and see what we learn from that. Okay. All right. Thanks.